Hey there and welcome back. Well, today I'm really excited to be bringing you a video of how to install Home Assistant on a mini PC. Now, I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, but I thought it was going to be over and above my level of skills. But it turned out to be pretty easy. There are a few things that I had to figure out along the way, but it was really pretty simple. And I'm going to go through a step-by-step process. I used a Lenovo mini PC, but there's all sorts of different models available out there in the marketplace. I picked mine up for less than $100 and it's working amazingly. I've even loaded Frigate up with a Coral, but today we're just going to focus on the install of Home Assistant on the mini PC. So when it comes to installing Home Assistant, I've tried quite a few methods. I started off by doing it on a Raspberry Pi 3. I then moved up to the Home Assistant Yellow. I waited over a year for this device, my first and only quick starter, and it was well worth it. Followed on with that by using it on an Odroid device from Apollo, which worked really well. But now I recently ran a survey of you, my audience, and you said that 40% of you were running it on x86 64-bit machines. So something like this little NUC in the picture over here. I will leave a link in the description below of a NUC or a mini PC that you could buy brand new if you prefer. These are available either on AliExpress or Amazon. So I went searching for my device on TradeMe, which is our local auction site here in New Zealand. It was on at a $1 reserve, but it seems as if I got really lucky because most of them are around the $200 to $300. Oh no, there we go. There's one for $140 New Zealand. So that would be less than $100 in the US, for example. So this is what they look like. They're a small mini PC. This one's got 8 gigs of RAM, the same as mine. Mine had a 256 gig SSD, comes loaded with Windows 10, and it's got an i5 processor inside. So the process is all neatly laid out on the Home Assistant website. The way that it works is there's 2 methods that you can choose. The first one is to use Ubuntu, which is a Linux distribution, which you will use to boot the PC into a boot mode with Linux. And then what you can do is basically load the Home Assistant software up and overwrite the Windows software that is currently sitting on that drive. That was the easiest way, so I decided to go that way. The other way is to write it directly to the hard drive that you're going to use in the device using another computer. But Home Assistant advised this was a more difficult route to go, so I decided to go with the easy way. First thing you're going to do is download this Ubuntu desktop. This is the software that you need. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to download the Balena Etcher. This is a tool that will allow you to actually write this to your thumb drive, and we want the Windows version. So you open Balena Etcher up, select Flash from File, and select that Ubuntu file that you've just downloaded. Next, you select your target. So this would be the flash drive that you've plugged into your computer, and then you go flash. Once it's finished, it's all ready to go. Then plug that into one of the USB drives on your mini computer, and then you're ready to start. So once I'd turned my machine on and continually pressed the F12 button, this is the screen that came up. So I scrolled down, entered the setup, I clicked across to devices, USB support, went down to USB legacy support and disabled that. Next I clicked along to security, scroll down to secure boot and ensure that this was enabled. Finally, I selected the startup boot sequence. Over here, you have to scroll down and find the USB hard drive. There you can see we've got the UEFI operating system. What you need to do is select this and then you press the plus button, which will move this up to the top of the list. Now you just save the configuration and reset. It'll now start booting up into the Ubuntu operating system. This takes a while, but eventually it'll give you this screen. So now what you do is select your language. Obviously I've chosen English, go next, and then you can just next through all of the rest of the settings. When it asks you what you want to do with Ubuntu, just say that you want to try it, because we're just going to be using this to download the Home Assistant operating system, and then we're going to reboot the system. Now you're going to open up Firefox, and you're going to use this to search for the Home Assistant operating system. In the URL, type in home-assistant.io/installation/generic-x86-64 and select download the image. Now go and search for disk in the search bar at the top. This will open up the disk utility manager. Then find the SSD within your mini PC on the left hand side, and then click on the three dots to restore the image. You're now going to select the image, which is the information that you've just downloaded from Home Assistant. Now just bear in mind, by overwriting the SSD within your mini PC, we're basically wiping out Windows and you won't be able to use it anymore. It will now give you a final warning before you overwrite the disk. Give it the go ahead and it will start writing the disk information onto the disk. This may take a while, and once it's complete, you can restart the machine. Now after mine rebooted, it did come up with this error, invalid signature detected. After doing a bit of research, I discovered that I needed to disable the secure boot mode in order to get it to work. This time, after rebooting, Home Assistant started loading. My new Home Assistant instance is super fast, and I've now loaded up Frigate with a Coral TPU. Well, overall, this has been a fascinating process for me. I've learned lots about mini PCs, about BIOSes, and about loading Home Assistant in a totally new way. I've really enjoyed this, and I can honestly say I am not technology savvy by any means. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a coder. So if I can do this, you can do this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.